right, let's do a nice audio and visual check. How's everybody doing tonight? We're on. Yes, we are on. I am not in a position. I double checked tonight. Let's make sure we get everything set up. Ready, Lido. Greg, good. All right, give me a moment. Get a couple things set up and we'll get going. It is Sunday, so it's only an hour tonight. Okay, let's get started. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to Slow Markets. As always, in the YouTube chat, there's our Top Step risk disclosure. We all know this is just for education. It's not a signals class, and it's not financial advice. Now, before we get any started, let's get that music back. How was the music? Is the music okay for everybody? Make sure it's not too bad. Red shirt market going down. Well, tonight it is. Tonight we're down 0.5%, right? This is the car room music. Jazz is chill. Yeah. Good. Well, let's get going. It's like we only have an hour. So NASDAQ daily chart. We'll start with the NASDAQ daily. As always, we start with the higher time frame, then we'll zoom in. NASDAQ here. We still have that gap down towards those 18,600s. I mean, are we past the gap? Well, look at this. If we look back here from March, who remembers this gap? Does anybody remember this one? Like, that was a gap that we didn't fill until, a whole month. Gaps don't need to get filled. I mean, look at this one over here back in June, right? We gapped up. Yeah, you know what? That one didn't get filled until, a couple month later. So gaps do not always have to be filled. We talk about them a lot. They're big. They're there. And it's something to sometimes pay attention to. If the market does get down close to that area, then of course, yeah, that's going to get back on the radar. But until then, we are in a bullish market. Is this a bullish market? I don't know. I don't know the way I view price action. I mean, right? There's a high. There's a low. This is a daily chart. There's a high. I mean, are we looking to be bullish now? I don't know. We did break the high of April 9th when we got that huge day. We broke it. We closed above it. We're still above it right now. And I think the question is, can we hold above it? Can we come up and test another area of resistance? Where is that area of resistance? Now, I'm just looking at this on the daily chart first. And I was pointing out these 2 points right around the 600 level. And it looks like we did come up and almost touch 600 at the end of the day, Friday. And we are starting to sell off. We are down 0.5% tonight. Are we going to find an area of support, or are we going to just have another are we going to have a leg lower? Can we form some type of bullish flag pattern or some type of flagging pattern where we could see this market, selling off and looking to go find some type of support? Maybe that could be possible. I mean, we still have this major high that we're going to be looking at, testing, maybe looking at support resistance. Let's do that. I mean, that's as much as I can get off the daily chart. Let's zoom into the hourly. You can kind of see what I'm talking about on the hourly chart, where we have that major trend line. This market, can we come down and test it? I don't know. I mean, obviously, if we just sell off now, we have a long ways to go. But given time, right, in time, the trend line's going up, so it might not take much to test it if we don't test it for a week or two. But until then, where is the areas of support and resistance? You can see there's a nice support and resistance zone that we have made last week, and it's a pretty big zone where you can see where maybe we can come back down and test these 250s. Maybe we come down to these 160s. We still have a pretty volatile market. So we have support, maybe a level of support. And tonight it looks like we gapped down tonight. Is that right? We gapped down a little bit and we have sold off 0.5%. Looking for an area of support, maybe. Maybe we're looking for an area of support. I mean, just going through, just analyzing. This is the first time I've looked at the markets tonight, everyone. So just seeing what these markets are doing, what's going on. Maybe we take a look at some news. Nothing too crazy. Once I go through this, then we'll get to some of the questions in the chat. Not much, right? Anything too crazy going on this week other than some random, tweet that could move the market? Maybe some earnings. Nothing yet. Nothing tonight. Tonight's the 27th. Of course, we have PCE coming out on, what is this, the 30th? So that could definitely move the markets. PCE coming out, manufacturing. So far, that's it. PCE is going to be big. PCE and the job numbers. I think a lot of people are going to be watching. Kind of maybe they're switching their view on. Let's start to focus less on the tariffs and more on inflation. I don't know. It seems like I'm tired of the inflation headlines, to be honest, everybody. It's one inflation headline after another. Look, there's a big order right there on the DOM. If we take a look at this depth of market, there's a big order further down at 19,401. There's 300 contracts sitting right there. So I haven't been watching it. Like I said, I just pulled these markets up as soon as I hopped into slow markets. Wonder if that's going to get filled. Where's the low of day? The low of day is at 414, so we have a ways to go. We're still seeing volatility, very volatile markets. So let's look at tonight. We're zooming in. Right now we made it all the way down to the 5-minute chart. There's a big order on ES2. And let's take a look at that gap. Not bad. Not bad, to be honest. 30-point gap to the downside. That's refreshing. It's refreshing to not see that big of a gap during slow markets. We've still moved 140 points. So we've still sold off 140 points. Still showing some volatility. It's still bigger than normal for slow markets. Not much. A little kind of choppy markets, to be honest. I came on the air briefly Friday, and I was talking about these higher lows that we have been making, right? These higher lows that we made today. I mean, this was Friday. We did make a higher low. We had that very big rally on Thursday, followed by a pullback, and then followed by a continuation. Everyone has been talking about, higher lows, higher highs. And yeah, we made a higher high on Friday from Thursday's market. And now the question is, where do we go? Do we come down, test this low? Do we break below it? Do we come back up and test Friday's high, break above it? We're not seeing anything too crazy tonight. But yeah, let's keep going. Don't spam the chat. If you have a question, feel free to ask it, but don't spam the chat. Spamming the chat is a quick way to just get booted. It's silly. You ask a question. If I have time and if I can answer it, I'll answer it. But don't spam the freaking chat. Anyway, let's move on to the crude oil. Seeing big movements in crude, it looks like. That's the 5-minute. Let's zoom out to the hourly chart. Oh, man, it's been a while since I traded crude. Really. And it's looking pretty bearish, right? It's looking pretty bearish. Every single time we find buyers stepping in, we get a bit of a sell-off on this higher time frame. But if we start to zoom in over the past month, this was that area of resistance that I was talking about. And I know Aaron from the London open, this was an area of resistance, right? That resistance became support. And so far it's held as support, right? Support becomes resistance, resistance becomes support. So the $62 a barrel seems to be a very key number where that was the resistance. It's now becoming support. The question, obviously, very similar to any market, is this just going to be a higher low? Is this a higher low? And then do we sell off and come back down into these 50s? Or are we going to continue to hold 62 and maybe rally up? Maybe we test 64s. Maybe we come up and find some area of resistance. Can we come up and test $70 a barrel? This is a 4-hour chart, so maybe we take a look at the hourly. I mean, it's the same thing. Very similar to the same thing. I'm not going to spend too much time in crude oil, but let's take a look at, briefly, this will be brief, the Nikkei. Nikkei is strong. This is the Japanese market. So, I mean, look at the Nikkei. We broke through that major level on April 9th, and like the NASDAQ, we rallied, right? We rallied tonight. We are not selling off much. We're kind of just right around break even. So overseas market, I mean, we take a look. There's some resistance here back from the beginning of April. That was, what, Liberation Day, April 2nd. So the Nikkei's already made it near the high of April 2nd. And we compared that to the NASDAQ. And, I mean, we still got a little bit. We still have a ways to go to get up to those April 2nd highs. But we're not too far off, to be honest. We really are not. I could very realistically see us maybe coming up and testing this level, 19,900s, 20,000. 20,000 is a big round number, but I personally would like a pullback in this market and find some type of better market structure to maybe buy it or sell it. Hey Dakota, do you trade the news? I don't. Let's take a look at gold. Gold's been moving. Gold's been volatile. That's for sure. Who remembers? Was it last slow markets? Anybody? Was it the last slow markets? We was talking about this on the hourly chart. These levels of resistance, and we ended up getting in a short right around here somewhere. And then we did sell off back down towards this 3,300, 3280s, 890s, that level. So it was last time. Okay, my memory's bad. Yeah, it was the 24th. So that worked out pretty well. The power of simple technical analysis. We did get another rejection. That's a pretty decent rejection. So I'm curious to see how this market handles these lower highs. If we're going to find this downtrend, and if we're going to find further selling into this gold market. It's so hard though, because gold's been on such a bull run lately. Maybe wait, be patient, see if we can consolidate a little bit more, and then if there is a play, maybe we look for just a nice breakout trade, right? Maybe we look for a nice breakout trade where gold can break out, and then we can look for ways to buy it to go up and test all-time highs again. That would be interesting. But I'd like to see better market structure. We made equal lows. These are, to me, equal lows. And, I mean, maybe this is a higher low since Friday. Not sure. Maybe we continue to find some buyers stepping in. Maybe we come back up and test this upper level into these 370s. But we're right in the middle. We're right in the middle of this range. I could even make an argument to say that this is one nice big range. And we tested the lower end. We're right in the middle. In the middle, what happened last time? Well, we bounced off it. We bounced off the middle last time. Not once, but twice. And you can see where we can easily bounce or show resistance. And so maybe we do that. We could either have resistance come back down. Maybe we rally back up to these highs. Don't really want to play around too much since we're in the middle of gold. Let's take a look back at the NASDAQ. And then we'll get to some questions. Now we could get to some questions, everybody. It's called patience. It's called waiting. If you want questions, remember, I'm not a support member. I'm not here to do support tickets, right? I'm a trader. I'm a coach. I'm here to help you with your trading. But let's get to some of the questions. Let's see. And we'll watch to see if there's any opportunities here. Looks like we are continuing to sell off. Wherever that 300 contracts is gone. Maybe did it get filled? And let's see. Hey Dakota, how do you trade the news? I don't trade the news. I trade it by being flat. I don't want to be in the market when there's news events. Morocco ONT banned. What is ONT? Bearish divergence on MNQ 1 hour. Which time your coaching session for the 100? I'm always missing. So we already had the 3 last week. They are recorded. So I think if you missed it, you'll get the recordings. I trade the news with 15 minis. I have no comment on that one. You think someone could go full-time with Topstep as a source of income? It depends on what you mean. Like a full-time trader? I know a great example is Baron. Baron quit his job. He sent the video on, and Topstep played the video on air. That was cool to see. He was making so much. He's been making great money. So that's a good example. Morocco banned from Topstep? I don't know. Morocco. Like I said, I don't know, and I can't really speak on any other countries. I'm for open up to everybody. Open it up to everybody. Did I miss something? I think everyone should have the same opportunity, but I don't have I don't have power. If it was up to me, I'd just say let everybody do it. Do it. I know there's rules and regulations. Thoughts on trying to catch an NQ long right now? I wouldn't be opposed to it. We did have this sell-off midday. Right, there's a nice area of support and resistance in this zone. Maybe we have a little bit lower. For 19,400 is a nice round number. So I'd just be a little bit cautious, right? We have not exactly got all the way down to this support and resistance. I mean, maybe we touched it and that could be good enough, but there'd be risk down to 370s, 380s. Not up to Topstep. It's regular. I know Topstep takes traders live, and Topstep has to abide by the rules and regulations through its partners. And like I said, I can't speak on it because I don't know the details. I know MP mentioned it something. Maybe if I'm on air tomorrow, maybe I could ask him. Dakota, what are your thoughts on Sunday, Monday trading versus the rest of the week? Do you ever notice a distinct difference between Sunday, Monday? Not really, Monica. I haven't paid too much attention just because it's just so sporadic, especially as of late with the random news, right? I mean, you could say last week maybe there's headlines or tweets going out over the weekend, and that brings volatility. Typically we have news on Wednesday, and then Mondays have been pretty good for me though. Tuesdays I've been struggling. I know for a period of time I've struggled so much on Fridays, and probably the better decision for me was to stop trading Fridays. But then look at my last Friday. I made what, $13,000, and so I have a very difficult time myself saying it's any specific day of the week for me, but it could be, right? If you find that you struggle on a specific day, then maybe try not trading that day and see how your results are. Game Boy Tommy, you see Topstep here for years to come? Well, yeah, 100%. Yeah, that's why I'm here. I know the team. I see the team. I believe in what Topstep's doing, and Topstep's been around since the beginning of prop firms, right? 2010, 2011, and it's still, right? Still number one, right? And still moving this industry forward. MP's talking about live account benefits basically before anybody else. Topstep has the resources, and the MP's always online and having good conversations with traders and finding ways to improve and innovation, and Topstep's not going anywhere. Mondays are always difficult, choppy. Fridays, 90% of when I blow my accounts. I stop trading Fridays if that's the case. No, Dakota, do you stream anywhere else? No, I don't have the time. Topstep makes it so convenient for me. So that way I just have to get on my computer and set up a stream, and I'm here, right? I don't need to worry about going and taking. It's a lot of work and effort, to be honest, and it's something. Just think through everything that you have to do. Not before top one, they came out with live benefits. Coach CJ, Topstep's been talking about live account benefits since fall last year. Are you any trades? Nope, we're watching. We're waiting. Someone said long NASDAQ, and so far we did get down to these 405s, 404s. Let's see if gold's moving. We can take a look at gold. Gold's not really doing much, to be honest, tonight. Dakota, how to learn from you in a serious way? What do you mean in a serious way? Is there a not so serious way? Tom Vu? Who's Tom Vu? Caleb is trying to pay you for coaching. Dakota, what are your thoughts on trading only using support and resistance or smaller time frames like the 5-minute during fast markets? I mean, that's what I do, right? Every single night, you guys, everybody, you get to see me come on air. I do kind of a rapid fire. I look at these markets. I do the same technical analysis. Who's been following me for over a year? Right? It's now been just about over a year since I've been doing slow markets. It's the same technical analysis since day one. I've been doing the same it's the same stuff. Support, resistance. It's talking about 3-bar reversals. It's the same stuff, right? Even if you've been in for a few, it's consistent. It's boring as heck. Bernie, your first time here. Yeah, it's the same thing. And if you've paid attention, that there's not much that changes. The main thing I think that changes for myself is the markets, right? When the markets change, my position size, maybe how I approach getting in, getting out. But typically it's very similar. Coach Jay, first time here. Is this a signals class? Coach Jay's going to be joining me tomorrow. I'm excited to have Coach Jay on Mondays and Tuesdays. Mike, 7K tonight. I don't think 7K tonight, man. These markets are a little difficult for tonight price action. We started tonight with a 30-point gap to the downside. And we're continuing to make lower highs, right? Continuing to make these lower highs. And we are at a level of possible support. And this is possible support here at these 390s. This is a zone, plus or minus, maybe 10 points. So maybe there's an argument to buy it here. I'm going to be patient. You missed a signal. 30 contracts for just 15 points and we're there. That's it. That's it. With my stop bias right now, but always have been stopped out. I have accounts with it by, let's see. Did anybody enjoy their weekend? Please tell me that instead of thinking about the markets, you enjoyed the weekend. I tell traders all the time in my VIP, everywhere, is a weekend should be meant to be enjoyed. Do not overthink. Do not be spending your time and do not be spending your weekend back testing and doing this. Maybe spend a little bit, but it's meant for it's for your own psychological health, your own psyche. Worked on the lawn, gym, yeah, spend that time. You could spend some time during the week stressing about the markets. Get some stuff done, relax, spend time with family. It's Sunday, spend your time with family. These markets, they're not moving very much. Nothing's going on too crazy. Markets will always be here. When I mean in a serious way, I mean when to join you for learning. I want to know the schedule. Every slow markets, I talk about trading. You could ask questions. I go through the same market analysis over and over. Maybe I could be doing, maybe we'll have some special classes. And if I have a special class where it's like, hey, tonight I'm only going to be talking about technical analysis, I'll let everybody know. Where it's like, yeah, we're going to go in-depth technical analysis. And it depends on time, right? Sunday nights, it's still the weekend. It's Sunday night right now. And it's only an hour long. Class is already halfway over. A night bot with a risk disclosure. There's the night bot. Currently long gold, but I'm going to head out. Have a good night. Have a good night, Coach Jay. Can LeBron come back? Old man. Can the old man carry? I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think the Lakers have what it takes. No, not when you play the oldest man in the league for a whole entire half. Tell you what, if I'm 40 and you're playing me the most minutes on the floor, that's not right. That is not right. That's definitely a coaching issue. I don't know. The oldest man on the court should not be playing the most minutes. 48 old if he was MJ? I don't think MJ was even playing at that age. Hassan, hey man, I've never been on that site, so I couldn't. I don't know. But if that's the music you think of. Slow market time, please. Slow market time. Slow markets start at 7:30 Central Time. Sunday night through Thursday night. Elvis, that's elder abuse. Yeah, JJ Reddick should get in trouble for some elder abuse. Elder abuse tonight. That's what happened. Why NQ over the ES? I'm used to the NQ. I trade the NQ. I'm an NQ trader. NQ is a lot more volatile. And I am now liking that long setup. I am liking the possibility of a long here in the NASDAQ for myself. So I'm going to get into a long micro. I don't love it. But I like it. I like it. Make sure we're on points. Now the market could sell off, huh? We have another big contract right at 400. I could have a nice wide stop. Because we have that beautiful thing called micros. We have another big contract sitting at 400. These are the micros, though. Ray G got 408. Okay, nice. We're not out of the woods yet. I don't love it. That's why I'm not in minis. My stop's your take profit, David. All right. What makes you like the long? Yeah, like it, but not love it. Just the fact that we're still finding some support, some buyers here at these lower 400s. Right, this is the 5-minute chart over here on the left. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 20 minutes there. We have found some buyers, and this is a support resistant zone. We're right at the top of the zone. It's kind of looking to see if this thing could maybe sell off down towards these 390s and then reverse. But we'll see. We'll see if it sells off to these 390s and then reverse. Stop loss is better entry. I don't know. This is definitely a support resistance zone, right? Resistance, resistance, support, and we're at the top of it. So I wouldn't be surprised if we do sell off down here to this area. That's why 1 micro. Is there an outage on Topstep? I've not seen anything. I like I said, I just sat down at my computer desk, got everything set up, and I started slow market. So I'm seeing these markets for the first time. I'm viewing everything for the first time, and it's looking good so far. No issues. I have support resistance at 388. Yeah, right around there. I like that. Coach, we are short gold. Not much going on tonight, everybody. It's a nice, quiet, slow markets. It's an actual slow markets. If this is the case, if this market stays this quote slow, not as volatile, there might be some opportunities for overnight trades this week. Can we see that is the question. That would be interesting. Elvis, I don't know. They think that I'm going to pop up on screen and answer support tickets. I'm here to trade. We're here to talk about the markets right here, right now. I'm here to answer questions to help you become a better trader. And who knows? If I know something, maybe I'll say it. Because I don't mind. I'll tell everybody what I know. Everything that I've seen and I'm experiencing, everything's looking good for me. What's my edge? Port City Investment says, what is my edge? My edge is, I would say, if I was going to point out anything in particular, risk management. Risk management. How do we get into the group coaching? During the day show, they announced the check-in forms. David, and yes, the ability to clinch the butt. What are we putting up for tax write-offs this week? I don't know. I'll find something. My goal is to I'll bring a tax write-off on air, maybe once or twice a week. That has to be it. Tax write-offs. I want to trade better. What's the max trades average good traders are taking? What should be my limit? Lido, I would say no more than 3 setups a day. But it depends on your strategy, right? Some of the better traders, 1 trade a day, 2 trades a day, maybe not even a trade at all. Freedom Rule Trade, what's my favorite book? I've said a few books on air, right? The Obstacle is the Way by Ryan Holiday is a good one. Pierre's Perspective. Am I long? You just joined. It looks that way, yeah. Show your old cars. Show the cars as a tax write-off. First day in your XFA, Rick. 4 trades, $205 done. Love it. You can also lock yourself out. I like to see that. Great work. Do I see 90s down to 70s as support? Yeah, this is a nice support zone. All right, support. We could, if we break through it, support could become resistance too. But so far we're holding this. We're holding these 400s. The lock is your friend. The inside candles, the reverse. I tapped personal PDH from Thursday. The 2 p.m. candle from Friday. Look at the buyers stepping in now. Let's see. What's the tilt? Tilt's 58% short. Tilt's 56% short. Uh-oh. Shorts. Chat. Where's everybody? Everybody was short. Not too happy on that move for the shorts. Uh-oh. Shorts. No. No. Well, that's why trading's a zero-sum game, I guess. Oh, man. Where did everyone say coming in short? So if my stop loss is your take profit, where is your stop loss? Can your stop loss be my take profit? Dakota, in a packed earnings week like this week, are you still trading the indices? I'm looking at crude oil this week, avoid getting caught in the waves. Yeah, that's something that you could definitely do. You know, as I was looking at gold, I was looking at crude oil. It really depends on you, right? So earnings will bring volatility. We've already seen volatility in these markets, to be honest, everybody, where we see tweets, we see headlines move these markets. I don't think earnings are going to do much more than what has already been done with all of this volatility. So, I mean, it's definitely an option. If this market's too volatile to you, for you, then sometimes the simplest thing is to move to another one. J Main, I judge people how they treat others. You're off. It's 2 a.m. and the Sandman's calling. Good night, Mo. Dakota, I need help. I only go for $200 days. Counts as trading. I feel like I leave a lot on the table. You're always going to leave money on the table. You are always going to leave money on the table. You'll never catch the exact bottom and the exact top. You need to be happy with just taking a piece of it. All right, who was saying my stop loss is their take profit? Where is your stop loss so I know where to take profit? Honest question. Just joined? Is he long or short? I don't know. You could look. Open your eyes. Yes, my stop is 478. Oh, that's way up there, dude. That's way up there. I don't know if my take profit is... we could both be winners at that. I'm not looking for that big of a move. Is Asia session, why not have a large stop loss? This is a large stop loss, 50 points. It's one micro, everybody. Come on. Well, you know, we've made dinner. We made dinner, 25 bucks. $25. I've already had dinner. I have not been eating right. I haven't been feeling good over the past, since Friday. I don't know if it's just the change in weather, my food, it's something. I haven't ate fast food either. I'm not eating fast food. Andrew, 25 bucks is a Happy Meal. 25 bucks is that you can get some good food with $25. Believe it or not, I posted a picture on Twitter. On the Twitterverse. That was 25 bucks. Greek yogurt and granola. We're at $28 now. Trader Dog, where are you long from? If you're messaging in the YouTube chat about me, where am I long from? You should open the screen and see it. I am long at 19,417 half. Price is trading at 430. The new girl nerves. I think I've been eating too much. It's one of those when you go on a diet and then you break the diet, you just don't feel good. Sony knew. I think that's how you say your name. Somebody knows. Someone pays attention. It's nice when traders pay attention to what you say. Makes you have hope. And you're like, yeah, you know, this is support. Like, this is the way I look at the market. Half the people don't pay attention, and you kind of know when you tell someone, like, yeah, guess what? That was not a first date. And half the people don't even pay attention to something like that. Makes you wonder. Every losing trade I have is 10 push-ups. I'm going to be jacked. Ooh, should we do something like that? I like that idea, KB. Every time I have a losing trade on air, I'll do 10 push-ups. I like that challenge. That'd be a great idea, and we do it for everybody on air. We'll see who could do it. I should be ready to go this week. Last week I messed up my arm a little bit, but this week I should be fine. Andrew A, jumping jacks so you can see it. No, jumping jacks are too easy. I could move the camera so you could see a push-up. You're 10 to do good form. We can see who could do the most push-ups. I think Dobie could do 30 in a row. I don't know. I could do. I could get to maybe 60 before I just have to stop. As soon as I get to 60 push-ups, my arms start to give. And this is in a row, right? Without stopping. There you go. Somebody who's ever in his shorts making the money. You like the music now on stream? Nice. How's the music? We've had the music on for about half a week. 55 straight. Yeah, I'm not liking this. I'm not liking this at all. That's a good stop on that call out. That's a great stop loss. Those 78s. That's not a normal YouTube chat stop loss. You like the music? Good. Usually the YouTube chat would have a stop loss that was like 10 points and they get stopped out already. But having a stop loss up there, shout out to you. That's a great location. Great location. It shows that you're not risking your entire account. I'm bailed. I'm out. Uh-oh. That's 10 push-ups. Look at gold. Gold's selling off. That's the trade. That's the trade of the day right here. Is shorting this market. Shorting the gold for a breakdown. We can take a quick scalp here. You want to see a breakdown trade? Let's watch it. You'll see it. Let's see if we could get it. We'll see if we can get that. This is just in the combine, though. We'll see if we can have a breakdown trade. Stops up here. Breakdown or fake out? Ooh, fake out. Fake out so far. This is the low. Did we just get in the low? Yeah, NASDAQ held those lowers again. The lower 400, 410. Is Dakota just a gambler? Ross Carlson says. Dakota, it's about to be 200 push-ups. Hey, those push-ups go only for my live account. This is my live account. This is the combine account. Push-ups count towards only my live account. Kingpin. Dakota, check your coaching channels. There's a theme song for you in there. All right, let's look. In Discord? In Discord, I have 2 channels in Discord. Let's see. I have the Pop Squad. My VIP Pop Squad. And then I just have my regular. Let's see. The Legend of Dakota. I don't know if I want to play that, though. That's the thing. for Dakota, it should be 50 push-ups because you're trading minis. No, these are micros. This was micros. I'm down $17. J Main says, no, he is just a backstabber. J Main, who hurt you? Andrew, did you check that song out? I'll let you check the song out first. I did. I hurt you, J-Main. I'm sorry. Don't let someone online hurt you. Oh, here's the breakdown. Here's that breakdown. That's usually about it right there. There's it. I'm a gambler. I've been a pretty dang good gambler for 14 and a half years now. Wrong. No, actually not. No. I've been a really crappy gambler for the first 5 years. The first 5 years of me gambling have not been good. But after the 5th year, I started to be better at gambling. I am 31 years old, everybody. 31. I do not buy the Powerball. Every time I go to Las Vegas or any casinos, I don't play slot machines. I won't play the tables. The only thing I'll put money into casinos is on Texas Hold'em, because I'm not going against the house. Because the house has the percentages in favor of the house. I'll play Texas Hold'em because I know and I understand the statistics and odds of Texas Hold'em. Shout out to my man Rips. Rips, he's a poker player. He understands odds and statistics regarding the different poker situations. Very similar to what we're doing here in these markets. It's statistical probabilities. It's having a positive expectancy. It's understanding risk management. Andrew, is that song appropriate to play on air? Look at gold. Gold's breaking down now. Jay Van, you haven't heard me for the last 3 minutes because you've been listening to the song. Hey, if you find joy just jamming out tonight while we're watching these markets, then so be it. I've enjoyed the slow markets music. It's fine, Dakota. It's 2 minutes and 44. All right, I'm gonna take a moment and listen to it. Let's see. I can't hear anything. Oh. Don't want anything bad. It's a clean listen. Okay, I'll have to listen to that, King Penguin. I'll have to listen. It's pretty loud. The music's copyright. Yeah. It's better to be safe than sorry. I'll listen to it and make sure on everything first. I always appreciate that. Sounds like everyone's enjoying it. Yeah. Look at that gold. Look at the gold sell off. Yeah, see? Come on, where's... Oh, where did he go? Where did... I have to I try and refrain from saying he or she, but... J Main with the maple leaf. There you are. Chad just moved so fast. Look at this market selling off now. $3,300 here in gold. Yeah, that's Canada. My favorite poker players from Canada. That's one place. If I was to move, I would probably move to Canada. Canada is so beautiful. Yeah, Negranu. Go to the west side of Canada. Go west. Look, gold selling off. Broke through those 3,300s. BC is awesome. Man. Hey, did anybody else catch this short here? There's areas in Canada where you can see the northern lights, right? Is it in northern BC or Alberta? What a move in this gold. What a move in gold. Trinity, great trade. Hopefully you took this short. Look at that gold move. It's just going now. And this is a 5-minute chart. It looks like I thought it was a 1 minute. Yeah, I was only looking for a nice breakdown trade of this. This is a pivot. I'm seeing this as a pivot, right? Where we were making higher lows. We were, right? We were, past tense, making higher lows. And we were making higher highs. And so market changed and we started making lower highs, right? If you want to consider this a lower high. So we started making lower highs, and maybe you want to consider this a lower low. There's a little bit of discrepancy, however you want to say it, when choosing these pivots, or however you view this market structure. I mean, as soon as we started to break down this, then to me, I viewed this officially as making a new low. And I wasn't looking for much. I mean, yeah, that is quite the move, though. Like, that is a decent move on a breakdown here in gold. And so where can this thing go is the next question. Let's zoom out. Now, next question is, can we break these lows? I mean, that's some good momentum. Like, we're getting some good momentum here on gold. We break these lows, and then, I mean, we have a little bit of resistance here at these 60s. Maybe we take a run at these 48s, but I mean, honestly, we do have this level all the way 32.10. 32.10 could be a stretch target for gold. And, you know, maybe there could be one more that we could look at, which not too bad. 32.30. But we have to get through this big level first. This is a big level for gold. But tonight, that's some momentum. Now let's watch NASDAQ breakdown now. Now let's watch NASDAQ breakdown. We just watched gold. Now let's watch NASDAQ. Shout out to who's ever in that short. Now we're seeing these markets move, and we are up on time. We are up on time, everybody. This is how the great crash started. That's extreme. Talking about the great crash. Well, we are down almost 1% in the NASDAQ. Almost 0.75% here in the NASDAQ. Nothing too crazy. I mean, we did. This is that support zone I was talking about, right? We're still in that support zone. We took a look. We did take a look at these 390s, and we have. Oh my gosh! Now this is the big one. Look at this. Dang, where's Coach Jay when you need him? 800 at the bid. Did we get any filled? Man, yeah, that's a juicy bid. That's 800 just sitting there. So what do we do with this information? So I don't trade off of it. The market does react. You could see it's very obvious that the market just bounced off there. I don't know when this order came in. Obviously, it came in after the market rejected. So it's so hard to tell. I don't trade based off of it, but it's very interesting to see how the market reacts. And depending on how the market reacts, I'll trade the technicals. For example, if we bounce and then we pull back, we consolidate, or maybe we just consolidate down here and it touches it, and then it fills and then it reverses. It's like, okay, you know, maybe this is a good reversal spot. It's interesting because that number, that 800 contracts at 398, it's sitting here at this level of support and resistance that I talked about when I first started slow markets, right? That's exactly the level, right? Not the price, because to me, markets are not determined on exact prices, it's zones. And so this is the zone. It's a nice support zone. And then the fact that 800 came in right at that support resistance zone, it makes it more intriguing. It's like, okay, is this going to get filled, right? And then if this 800 contracts get filled, that means somebody wanted to buy 800 contracts at that support zone, or for whatever reason at that price level. And if this market rallies up, if this market just rallies up and then fills the gap, then, you know, it's paper, right? There's plenty of times where we joke around about it on Topstep TV, but it's true. Some of the most simplest trades is just to get in with the paper, get in with those big orders. We're just retail. This is a big order. This is not a retail trader in no means. At least I couldn't imagine this being a retail trader where they're getting in 800 contracts during the Asian session. Now, who knows what they're doing, right? They could be closing out a short position, a hedging. You never know. But if it gets filled and then tomorrow we just rally up, there's plenty of times we've seen that. Somebody always knows something. If that's a retail trader, what are we? What are we? What are we if this is a retail trader? If this is just a retail trader. Buying the lows. Buying the lows. That's BlackRock. How do you know if it gets filled or not? The market goes down there and the orders get filled. You'll look at the time and sells, right? Time and sells. And then you could see these orders going through. Typically, once you get there, you'll see the volume. I know Coach Jay says, I think it's in the settings in the DOM, right? Where you could do this one, I think, maybe. And then you could see the volume at those levels. And so if 800 was to get fill at 398, then you could see those, like say 800 contracts right there. And so you can see there's only 3 contracts that got filled at that price. There was nothing else. There's a little bit come in right at those 400s. It's a nice round number, but not much. Let's go through that. I don't really use it very much. Obviously, you can see how I have had it hidden. So gold's still dumping. Look at that. Shout out to those traders in a gold short. Great trade. Great trade. 67% is short gold. I'm short silver. So you're doing pretty good as well, right? Is silver doing well? Yeah, silver's actually getting ready to break this, maybe. So can silver sell off? I don't really trade silver, but do I look at EMAs or just straight support and resistance? I just look at straight support, resistance, and technicals. I don't look at EMAs, but I'm not against looking at EMAs. A lot of it's helpful for a lot of traders. Copper tanking too. Metals are just tanking, huh? What's copper? GH, right? HG. 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 GC. SI. All these metals are just selling off. What's your thoughts on going long gold soon? I would be cautious about it. There's nothing wrong with getting in long at an area of support, but just be very cautious when gold starts to move, because if gold does break this, we could see more momentum. But you know, every single time we've been at this level, which has been twice, right? Once, twice. I don't know if you want to consider this consolidation here at these 280s. I just have a hard time. This feels, it's very heavy. Gold's heavy. In all sense of the word, gold is heavy, but there is an argument for just a bounce, right? You could get in long playing for a bounce, and gold's only down 0.2%, so there's still more room to the downside. If you're looking for just kind of a bounce, some type of a pullback, yeah, maybe we get a pullback down back up to 3,300. That could be possible, but just it could get very scary, right? NASDAQ's not doing much. That order's still sitting there at 800. And I'll go for another. I'll go for the last 15 minutes. You get a gift. Everybody, you guys get a gift. You get me for an extra hour tonight. So there's your gift. You got me for an extra 30 minutes, I mean. Today's what? The 27th, yeah, so. Can't believe this month is already over. This month is already over, everybody. April's over. Wow. Thanks for the gift. It's probably not the gift you want, but it's a gift you got. Just passed another 50K. Great works, Steven. Was it short gold? Was it short this gold? Look, we got that bounce. We got the bounce. Did you take that trade, dying voice, dude? I think your question came in right down here towards, what, 89, 90? And it depends on, that's why I say it depends so often, is when someone says, do we buy this? I'm like, I don't know, right? Are you just looking for this scalp? Caught the bounce? Great work. Because if you're just looking for this scalp, great trade, right? If that's all you're looking for is just a move, something like what we just saw for a scalp, great. But if you're like, yeah, do we buy this? And we're looking for this thing to just completely reverse and go do something like that, it's hard, right? Because there's no evidence right now from the technical standpoint on any of these higher time frames. It's just looking like a lower high, right? Here's the all-time highs, lower high, resistance, lower high. And if I was to hold a trade on gold overnight, it'd be tempting to look for this market to break down, even though who shorts gold, right? So scalps on the smaller time frame going against that big sell-off makes sense. It worked here, right? It worked earlier. It worked on this. And if you're measuring moves, it worked on this. Does it work on that? Tip of the week, always zoom out. Yeah, there we go. Up to 300. 3,300. When in doubt, zoom out. Yeah, so look at that. So it worked on that sell-off, right? From there to there. Does it work on that sell-off? 411. Yeah, look at that. See? Now, do I trade off these orders? No. Does it? Could somebody? Possibly. Is there a trade? Maybe. Look, as soon as that 800 contracts came in right there, see that? The market's bounced. And now that additional 400 came in at 411. And so is this market going to go up? So as soon as those orders came in, buyers have stepped in. It's kind of spooked the market the opposite direction. Hindsight makes everything beautiful. Hindsight always makes sense. Yeah, sometimes. Caught a quick 50 ticks on the gold. Locked out. Was looking for a quick scalp. Should have ordered. Oh, great trade though. Great trade. Beautiful trade. We hit. Yeah, perfect. Beautiful. When I trade the gold 3-bar reversal, I have a harder time trading gold to the long side on this move. Just because of the higher time frame, right? The higher time frame. There's nothing against it. It's just gold's looking heavy on this one. That was a technical break that I traded. A technical break of this pivot. We broke that pivot and then just looking for a momentum burst. That's all it was for this example. That 400 still there. Big orders coming in during slow markets. I know there's big orders on Wednesday with Coach Jay and I. Now there's big orders to start the week buying this market. Is that bullish? Is that bullish for the NASDAQ going into tomorrow? Maybe. Rizzy, you're late to the party. What's going on? Party's about to end. You're showing up like a blister, man. Showing up after all the work's done. Coach Hoop says 400 in the ES as well. The Bitcoin, the coin of bits. Let's look at that. Bitcoin selling off. Oh, man. Bitcoin had a heck of a rally. Sailor had something to celebrate. Look at that. Wow. Looky there. Look at that. We kind of broke out of that nasty downtrend. Trade the Bitcoin. Ooh, here's the question for Bitcoin, right? Look at all that support. Now, will this support become resistance? I don't know. I don't know, right? Support, 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 support. Zoom in. Resistance, resistance, resistance? I don't know. Yeah, we're watching that 403. There's 400 right there at 411. 800 at 398. Will they get filled? I don't know. We're coming to the end of class. Yes, it will. Fashionably late. Locked in a short on the NQ, then took a long at the bottom in another account. All right. Dakota, I've got a major trend line in the daily. 19,600 also if it needs to break through. Not looking so good. I'll have to listen to these songs you sent, King Penguin. Yeah, I mean, great reviews. Andrew from chat says 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. Let's look at that gold again. Is it flushing? No, not flushing. I think we're coming to an end. Same here, 10 out of 10. Okay. Wow. 10 out of 10 music. 10 out of 10. Okay. High praise for stock AI song. Buy the AI generator. Buy stock in whatever AI generated that. Do I want any exotic cars? I don't know, Steve. I'm not. I haven't been one from spending money on exotic cars. I've always been under the idea that if you can't change the own oil in your car, then you shouldn't even own that car. Like, the car's meant to get you from point A to point B. You have mine. It cost a fortune. Tom knows. Tom knows. I'm a Mopar guy. Yeah. Not Ronald. A car is not a bad investment if you know what to buy. You buy a 1969 Dodge Challenger or 1970 old style Challenger, a Charger. Put some work into it, you're not gonna lose money. You shouldn't lose money anyway. You could change your own oil, put a new axle in it, put a nice big block 440, put a crate motor in it. Put a crate motor in it. Have fun. That's what's real. Other than any of the exotic cars that I typically see on the social media. Camaro guy. Coach Hoop is a Camaro. 440 is legendary. Richard Gill. Boring buy? Bye, Richard. Bye, Richard. Thanks, Coach. Good night. Praise Warren. Your man is... Good night, J-Main. Hey, that's... Everyone has their opinion. Nothing's wrong with that. Night. Yeah, we're coming to a conclusion. I'm going to stay for 5 more minutes. Moses, I was going to say that, but this is a recorded stream. Someone has a little bit of humor. I like that. Good. You're welcome, Daily. That's what it's for. I enjoy seeing others' success. I've said it all the time. It doesn't matter who it is. To be honest, it could be anybody in the trader, anybody in chat, any other streamer or YouTuber. If you're able to find success in these markets, I'm on your side. Jimmy Trades, what's a real man's car? Depends on what you like. I'm for, like I said, 1960s Dodge Chargers and Challengers, maybe 1970s, early 1970s. Ooh, I'll show you a nice one. I'll show you. This is... It's hard to beat something like this. This is just like something like this. Like this is like right up my, not that, but just old Mopar cars. Just so beautiful. Like you can't beat that stuff. You just can't beat it. You're a GM. I posted a picture. Let's see. I'll show you. You want to see a cool picture? Maybe I take a look at those ones. Hmm? Yeah. See, I take those over any of the fancy new cars that require someone. You go in, change your own oil, drop a transmission, weld some spider gears to burn out some tires. Yeah, that's my car of choice. Well, everybody, not much going on in these markets. Down $17 in the live account. Market found some buyers. We're talking about this support since the beginning. These 400, 390s, 80s. Sure enough, that was a level of support, right? I got closed out. And that big... Oh, look, there's some more. There's some more to finish it off. 400 at 411. 200 now at 408. I wonder if that 800 is still down there. Not sure. But some big old buyers stepping in. Whether those are real orders, as in, are they wanting to get filled? I don't know. Gold is continuing to sell off. So tomorrow should be fun. I'll be on bright and early for fast markets. It's going to be fun. And don't remember, tomorrow night, I am going to be having Coach Jay on with me. So, like I said, Jay's going to be on with me tomorrow morning. He's also going to be on with me tomorrow night. always love the conversation and the market talk that we have. So take care, and I will see you bright and early tomorrow morning. If not, tomorrow night. Take care.